Merry Christmas, Bulldogs. I'm your host, Mrs. Romaine.
And I'm Mr. Zabo. We'd like to welcome you to a special holiday edition of BNN.
Now, not special like in the way your mommies and daddies told you that you were special, but like actually special, as in unique, interesting, thought-provoking, and hilarious.
Well, actually, we stole the whole show from Saturday Night Live and some old recycled bits that we used in previous years.
Okay, so we're just taking stuff that other people have done and then making it worse, putting it out there for the whole world to see and expecting everyone to love us for it?
Pretty much.
All right, well, I guess we're kind of like the students then.
Oh, snap.
Before we get too far into it, let's take a quick break and enjoy a sneak peek at the upcoming season of Beset Holiday Baking Challenge, which starts Monday on BNN.
That sounds like it's going to be pretty fun.
This season on the Beset Holiday Baking Challenge, we'll find out who reigns supreme in the kitchen.
I'm sorry, I can't do this.
With all new bakers.
They told me it was 80s theme. Well, this is perfect. I'm president of the George Michael fan club. I came here to win.
By any means necessary.
I'm just so excited to be here. I'm so lucky to be part.
I got a pretty good idea of this construction design. Will it translate over to baking? I guess we'll see.
With all new challenges.
You want me to make what?
With inspirational guidance from our master chefs.
Is that honestly how you think you wish? Stop. You have got to be kidding me. This is the most terrible, disgusting mess that I have ever. You are absolutely.
You expect me to believe that you made the.
Who will rise to the occasion? And who won't quite measure up?
I don't think this is right.
Oh, geez, this is definitely not good.
You're
Everything out of my
only one, Mr. Grinch. You really are a heel. You're as cuddly as a cactus. You're as charming as an eel, Mr. Grinch.
In the end, only one can be crowned Beset Baking Champion, while the rest will be...
That doesn't look square, Claire. This is crap! This friggin'
This year, Santa has been keeping an eye on the students at Beset, and it turns out he has a few suggestions of his own for things that some of you may need.
If you're shopping for Anna Bartlam, Santa suggests buying her some horse tranquilizers because they're the only thing strong enough to take down Lauren Butters after she's had her second sugar cookie oat milk latte with 4 shots of espresso that day.
You can never have too much horse tranquilizer.
And if you're looking for something for Anna Busaba, consider some tape.
Ah, yes, a truly versatile gift. It can be used to hold the mask on her nose or to keep her mouth shut. Hey, if you've got Nick Myatt on your list, consider upgrading to duct tape because that guy never stops talking.
And while we're on the topic of non-stop talking, you know who we should give the gift of becoming the next host of Jeopardy?
No, who?
Austin Sims. That dude asks more questions in one law class than Alex Trebek did in his whole career.
Now, technically, they ask answers on Jeopardy, not questions.
I never really understood that.
Yeah, that doesn't really make any sense. Hey, if you're shopping for Eric Trevor, see if you can find him a clue.
Oh, like the classic board game turned into a hilarious feature film?
No, like a clue.
If you've got Dante Pringle on your list, good luck. I mean, have you seen his shoe game?
I know, you jealous, Apple?
No chance. You know no one has as much heat on their feet as yours truly.
Jaden Palmer's got that sporty style going for herself too. If you're wondering what's on her list, I've taken the guesswork out of it. Here's my 7-year-old daughter to tell you what other miniature little people like.
For Christmas, I want a simple dimple, few more Barbies, rainbow slime.
We'll now throw it over to Mr. Desjardins at the business desk to describe what a roller coaster of a year it has been for Joel Friesen-Waldner.
Thanks, Mr. Zabo.
Wait a minute. What happened to Dej? I think we're going to need to see some ID.
Business desk, business desk, business desk.
I guess it is Dej.
As I was saying, it's been a wild ride for Joel this year. On December 25th of 2016, Joel used all of his magic Santa wishes and asked for a single Bitcoin, which he found in his stocking the next morning.
Like, he found an actual physical Bitcoin in his stocking?
Precisely.
I don't think that's really how this...
He held on to the Bitcoin, at which time it was valued at $900, until he sold it for $34,000 on January 4th of this year.
Bad move, Joel. Didn't it keep going up to like 60,000 or something?
Indeed it did, but Joel took his earnings and purchased 2,000 stocks of GameStop, which by the time he sold them at the end of the month had gone up in value by 2,000%. $716,000. He took the money and sat on it for a couple of months before purchasing 1,272 Tesla stocks on March 8th, and then selling them the very next day for $857,000. Joel was briefly detained and his assets frozen after rumors of insider trading began to swirl, but his name was cleared and he continued to invest. Over the coming months, he bounced his money back and forth between Moderna, Nunkur, a variety of NFTs,
What is that?
Old Dominion, SVB Financial, and Bath & Body Works.
Yeah, I heard their stock had a great year.
No, he just bought a bunch of scented candles and some smelly soaps.
The vanilla bean Noel soap is to die for. I eat it for breakfast. I mean, you could eat it. It's that good, but I haven't.
Well, thanks, Mr. Desjardins. So, what do you get the man that has everything?
I'd suggest a piggy bank for all of his Bitcoin.
I really don't think that's how this all works. What's going on here? I feel like I'm seeing double Dej.
Gallivan locked me in my Monopoly board cupboard. What's going on?
Ah, time to fly. Smoke bomb special effect.
All right, let's get back to it. What if people are shopping for Hussein?
Oh, that's easy. A membership to Combine Fitness so that he can fulfill his lifelong goal of being The Rock circa 1987.
Santa was going to give presents to Pablo Gonzalez, but he's worried he'll just waste them by giving them to someone less fortunate or something like that. So instead, Santa emailed his list to Pablo because he knows Pablo will get him something super thoughtful. Most likely something homemade, but still amazing.
And then there's Gus. BNN News special investigator Greg Dempsey has spent the last 2 years working undercover as an elf in Santa's workshop, where he was able to obtain a copy of Gus Mahfoud's letter to Santa Claus this year. Now, ladies and gentlemen, what you are about to hear may shock and horrify you. So, if you have a family history of heart disease, you are pregnant, or just get really dizzy after riding the spinning teacups, you may wish to turn off your televisions right now.
Dear Santa, I wrote you, but you still ain't calling. I left my cell, my gram, and my snap at the bottom. I sent 2 letters back and on them. You must not have got them. But anyways, whatever. What's up? How's the missus? And what about Rudolph? How's he handling all those disses?
Stop calling me names!
Quad 2's been pretty tough. With Snyder's making the test, you know it's gonna be rough. So I've been hitting the weights, you know, getting swole. But not hearing from you all year is really taking its toll. Remember when we met at the mall? You said that if I sent you my cell, we could get to talking.
You have no new messages.
I ain't mad. I just think it's messed up you haven't left any gifts in my stocking. I'll be honest, I'm starting to think this whole thing may be a scam. You'd leave me nothing but a new car for Sam? That's my older brother. He still beats me up all the time. That kind of injustice got me thinking about a life of crime. All those nice things everyone says about you sounded real hollow, when all I ever wanted was a lousy toy or a follow. So as of December 17th, I'ma shut this thing down. No more Mr. Nice Gus.
I'm nobody's clown. That's it, Santa. I'm done doing my job as a decent human being until you do yours, you fat, lazy elf.
Ooh, poor Gus. No love from the big guy.
I think you might be getting too big for Santa's lap there, Gus.
While she's not a student, Miss Caranci is always open to receiving presents. Word on the street is that this year she's asking Santa for Timmy Fattacasey to take up permanent residence in London, Ontario.
Hold up. Isn't Timmy in grade 11?
Yes, but occasionally you come across a boys to men, all for one loving human who needs proper recognition before he leaves the building for good. And today, Timmy is that someone.
Fair enough.
As we mentioned, Santa has been keeping a close eye on you. And to be honest, it's not all good stuff. Many of you have been great, but there have been a few of you who found your way into Santa's bad book.
Literally, the book where he writes down the names of all the bad kids.
So here's a message from Santa Claus of some of the hijinks you kids have been getting up to and what you can do to get back on his good graces.
You say the price of my list's not a price that I'm willing to pay. Insane. You cheat on your test, now you deal with the wrath of Romaine. I'm so blue. I thought that we made an arrangement when you were in 3rd grade, when I brought you Black Ops 2. Remember, despite our estrangement, I'm your man. You'll be back, soon you'll see. You'll remember that PlayStation 3. You'll be back, trust me, kid, and I'll forgive you for that thing you did. As followers rise, your grades will fall. Why do I always see the same people in the hall? And when push comes to shove, I will send you down to Bonzi's office to remind you of my love. Da 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 da. You say that school is boring, well, that's just wrong. You'll be the one complaining when you work at dawn. And no, don't change your handle, 'cause that's something I can't handle. Don't become a common vandal, or buy your mama a candle. So be kind and clever, and never and never and never
go to Taco Bell at lunch, and then you come back and there's 4 people ahead of you in the bathroom, and there's only one allowed at a time, and they're taking forever. That is just a bad news situation. Just don't do it.
We'll be back like we were. I'll forget you stole from Miss O'Connor. When your mask didn't cover your nose, or you forgot to wear your uniform clothes. When you're late, you know how it goes. Please don't try crawling through the window. 'Cause when push comes to shove, I will fill your stocking full of coal.
What the hell?
To remind you of my love. Da 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 da. Everybody. Da 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 da
A lot of good points there.
Well, folks, that brings our 2021 BNN staff broadcast to a close. Thank you for tuning in.
You know they weren't even listening to us, right? I mean, their heads were probably buried in their phones, except DeAndre, who was likely talking through the whole thing.
Or Jack Sheetal, who's probably been asking to go for a walk for the last 10 minutes.
Absolutely accurate. For all of us here at BNN, have a safe and happy holiday season.
Merry Christmas.
keeping an eye on the... Help me!
That looks like it's going to be pretty fun. You got to put exactly as it says on the teleprompter.
And so why don't we do that?
Roasting.
Why don't you count to 5?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Why don't you count to 5?
6, 7, 8, 9, 12.
Okay.